Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. Hey, before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a thing. All right, we're talking about a huge shift happening right now in Mediterranean security. Greece is kicking off a massive, multi-billion-dollar overhaul of its entire air defense network, and it's all powered by Israeli tech. And trust me, this is way more than just a simple upgrade. Yeah, the program is called Achilles Shield, and it's a real game changer. We're talking about a fundamental shift that's basically redrawing the security map of the Eastern Mediterranean. This is a once-in-a-generation change for Greece's defense, and you can bet the impacts are going to be felt way beyond its borders. So the big question is, what's driving such a monumental decision? First off, let's just talk about the sheer scale of this thing. We're looking at a $3.5 billion initiative. I mean, that's one of the most ambitious upgrades the Hellenic Armed Forces have undertaken since the Cold War. And get this, it's just one piece of a much, much larger puzzle. We're talking a 28 billion euro defense roadmap that Greece has laid out all the way to 2036. Okay, so that brings us to the core of it. What exactly is this new Achilles Shield for Greece? Well, at its heart, Achilles Shield is all about cleaning house. It's about getting rid of this messy, fragmented collection of old systems and, in its place, creating one unified, modern, multi-layered network. The whole point is to build a super mobile air defense system that can actually handle the threats we're seeing today and the ones that are coming tomorrow. But, to really get why this is so important, we got to look at the problems Greece was dealing with. What made them decide that a complete overhaul was the only way forward? What made it an absolute necessity? So for decades, Greece was essentially running a patchwork defense. Think about it, a jumbled mix of American and Russian systems, with some of this tech dating all the way back to the 1960s. And the biggest problem? They didn't talk to each other very well. It was a total logistical nightmare. The new vision, though, is the complete opposite. A single, integrated architecture that's advanced, sustainable, and, this is key, fully aligned with its NATO partners. And let's be real, that old patchwork system, it's just no match for the kind of threats we're seeing today. The whole security environment in the Eastern Med has changed, dramatically. We're seeing drones everywhere, precision weapons, advanced ballistic missiles, and that's not even counting the constant airspace disputes in the area. The old gear was just not built for this world. Not even close. And this really came to a head with their Russian-made systems like the S-300 and the TOR-M1. The problems were becoming critical. First, you have the geopolitics. EU and NATO restrictions were making them a huge liability. Then, there's the logistics. Just trying to get spare parts was becoming an absolute nightmare. And on top of all that, the tech itself was just getting old and obsolete. For a key NATO ally, a situation like that, well, it was completely unsustainable. So, facing all these challenges, what did Greece do? They turned to Israel for a high-tech solution. And we're not talking about a patch job. We're talking about a brand new, multi-layered defense that builds a completely new architecture from the ground up. And this transformation is happening at every single level. Let's break it down. For short-range threats, those old Russian systems are out, and the Spider system is in. It's incredibly good against things like drones and cruise missiles. Moving up to medium range, the old American MIM-23 Hawk is making way for the Brock MX, which is a beast that can engage multiple threats all at once. And then for the long-range stuff, the Russian S-300 is being replaced by Skyceptor, which is specifically designed to take down tactical ballistic missiles. So you're probably asking, why Israel, right? Well, it wasn't a random choice. The decision came down to some really key factors. For one, Israeli systems are battle-proven. I mean, they've been tested in some of the most intense environments on the planet. They also promised rapid delivery times and, importantly, lower costs over the life of the system. Plus, the whole design is modular and scalable, so it's easy to upgrade down the road. But the real kicker? They are totally aligned with Western and NATO logistics, which solves that huge problem we were just talking about. Okay, so Greece gets a powerful new shield. But the story absolutely does not end there. This deal creates some major ripple effects, and it's set to shift the strategic and industrial balance across the entire Mediterranean. The strategic impact here it's profound. First, it gives Greece a much, much more credible deterrent against any regional threats. Second, it really cements the growing defense partnership between Greece and Israel, positioning Athens as a key partner for Israel and Europe. And finally, you have to see this as a signal of a broader shift. We're seeing more and more European nations looking to Israeli tech to meet their defense needs. And here's something really important to understand. This isn't just Greece buying something off the shelf. It's a true partnership. The whole deal is designed to breathe new life into Greece's own defense industry. We're talking about local manufacturing of components, systems being assembled inside Greece, and a huge amount of technology transfer. What does that mean? It means new, high-skilled jobs and a much stronger national industrial base. That is a massive win for the Greek economy. All right, finally, let's pull the lens back one more time and look at the biggest picture of all. What does this mean for the entire NATO alliance? Because this really isn't just about Greece. This is about strengthening a critical pillar of collective security for everyone. So for NATO, this whole deal is a huge win on three crucial fronts. First, it massively reinforces the alliance's southeastern air defense corridor, which is a big deal. Second, these new systems are designed from the get-go to integrate perfectly with NATO command and control. That's a huge boost for interoperability. And third, it decisively gets rid of those problematic Russian systems, which enhances the operational readiness and sustainability of a really important ally. One of the best ways I heard this described was like a major software update for a national security system. The idea is that it's replacing all these separate, outdated programs with one single, unified, modular, and networked operating system. I think that just perfectly captures the depth of this change. It's not just about getting new hardware. It's about adopting a whole new philosophy of defense. And all of this leaves us with one final, and I think really important question. As we see countries all across Europe rearming to face new global realities, you have to wonder, is this Greek model, this pivot to integrated, modern, and interoperable systems, is this the blueprint for the future of defense on the entire continent? All right, that's all the time we have for this one. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, if you found this breakdown valuable, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like, share, and of course subscribe to the Global War Watch Network. We genuinely want to hear what you think, so please drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to join the conversation on our social media. All the links are right there in the description. We'll see you on the next one.